Just put a few videos together. So, when you get invited to do the keynote, and especially the headline act, there are two things that can happen. Either everyone is tired and he walks out of the hall, or you really get apex crowd. I can see I'm like midway. I started off with these videos to basically give context to all the conversations we're having, sports and entertainment. And before I move on, I don't know, I must address this. Why me? Why am I here? Why unlisted? I'm not even a part of the schedule. My name doesn't appear. I'm not a part of the promotion campaign that they're running. Amir just called me recently, out of the blue. I've known him for a long time. My interest in Nepal is known. I've been trying for the longest time, and I'll come to that a bit later. When he called and he said, hey, I'm doing this in Kathmandu, I said, I'm on. Because any excuse to come to Nepal, the lovely blue skies, friends of mine who are here for the longest time. So I took that up, and then we tried to figure what is it that we're going to do. So listen, I haven't been a part of the entire day's program, and I'm sure, going by the last two panels that I saw, there must have been a lot of knowledge shared, a lot of views, a lot of wisdom. Let me give you a slightly more tangible version, because my business for 46 years has been sports and entertainment. So we've actually been doing it. I will repeat this later, but let me just tell you, 25, 30 years ago, I can't even remember, this was really a long time ago, we did the first international cricket match in Kathmandu. We got the Indian legends to come in and play the Nepal team. I think this was, and Amir was right. Even that time, I remember that this was the most beautiful cricket ground in the world. Mountains in the background, beautiful green turf, so you don't need plastic chairs to sit on. You can actually sit on green grass. And it was magical. And that's the time when we took this up seriously, and as some of our friends pointed out in the panel discussion too, it was the political instability that prevented us from raising the capital that we needed. Else, the story would have been different. Let me go back. So when we think of sports, we basically think of recreation. By the way, listen, I don't need the note, but I've got the note just to make sure I don't miss anything that I want to share. Okay. So sports is time pass, leisure, something that we do after work or before school or after school. I grew up, my childhood was playing cricket. I lived in Bombay. And Bombay doesn't have infrastructure for a different reason. There's no space, okay? So we played cricket in the streets. We played cricket in building corridors, in school corridors. And not only that, but table tennis was played on dining table. All you did was put a few books there, and there's a table tennis table. Sports quietly shaped into what I became. Discipline, teamwork, resilience, ambition, okay? Sports keep youth engaged, reduces social evils, build healthier, more connected communities. I visited Colombia, I think about 2 years ago, and I was surprised to see that despite all the perceptions that Colombia carries, the narco story and whatever, the global supplier of the evil, but the sports infrastructure there was shocking. You had, football grounds, you had volleyball courts, you had basketball courts, everywhere, flooded, lit. Organizations like Lotus Sports for Good actually have used the sports to take away the evil from the society. So if you give good sports infrastructure, the youth will engage, and they'll have less time to do bad things on the road or anywhere else. Over the years in business, I have had the opportunity to engage with multiple sporting ecosystems: football, formula racing, cricket, IPL, boxing, tennis, badminton, athletics, everything. And that exposure really changed my perspective. Today, sports sits at an intersection of experience economy, culture, and technology. I will make a point here. The sports experiential economy, the real acceleration, the real potential emerges when it transits into entertainment. I just want to make a very small point. We've had Ranji Trophy games going on in India for the longest time. We have Kanga League. We have so many regional, national, interstate, intercity tournaments going on. But nobody used to go to those games. Nobody ever sponsored those games. But the moment it came in the new avatar of IPL, it had all the money, all the wisdom. Okay. So it's only when sports begins to entertain, the big money gets locked in. Let me tell you, the global sports market is about $500 billion worth. Global live entertainment market, which is concerts, music concerts, is about 535 billion. You can multiply by that by 160 to know how many Nepalese rupees. I just figured that. The global sports and live entertainment market, therefore, combined, which is what Nepal can easily target, is over $1 trillion. Multiply that 1,600 trillion Nepalese rupees. Okay. The APAC market is about 116 billion. APAC live entertainment market is about 43 billion. These are not small numbers. These are huge numbers. The sports and entertainment market across APAC, a region that we are part of, is about 160 billion. Just IPL alone is 1.5 billion in terms of revenues. And I'm not talking about impact on economy. I'm only talking about IPL revenues. When an event happens, somebody did mention earlier that you have hotels going up. You did, sir. The restaurants filled up. Taxis are making money. Retail, shopping, food, everything is booming. Now, all that combined will be much bigger. So beyond cricket, IPL drives hotels, aviation, employment, franchise, media, year-round fan engagement. It created actually an entertainment economy. Now, Formula One, I show that for a reason. Formula One is one of the biggest money spinners worldwide. It generates about, every race generates approximately a billion to $1.5 billion. Singapore, there was a mention of Singapore earlier, about $2 billion US. Monaco, about $1.5 billion. Just one weekend is just 2 days. 365 days. Out of that, only 2 days is $1.5 billion. Australia GP is about 190 million. Bahrain GP is about 500 million. Thailand, your neighbor, is $1.23 billion is planned investment, and about 500 billion is expected to be, about 500 million is expected to be the economic impact. They'll start in 2027. We are supporting Formula racing in India. We did a few races with Formula E in Hyderabad, Formula 4 in Hyderabad, Chennai, and now this month we're doing Goa and Bombay.
Nepal Sports Summit at the
Classic Deco 16th anniversary offer. Jatima chahiyo
exercise. So Nepal's natural advantage. Look, I told you when Amir called and said come, the only thing that I visualized was blue sky, and I said, yeah, I'm coming. I didn't even know what for, but then I said, I'll come. So listen, leverage it. It's beautiful. You're strategically very, very beautifully located, right in the middle of all the action, and neutral. So, there was a mention, why Sharjah? You can't even bear that weather. This is beautiful. So, you have an advantage. Please use it. We can surely attract sports, entertainment, art, and culture. Like I mentioned, Sri, when was that game where you organized? You remember? 25 years? Very, very long ago. I still remember Kapil Dev was here with me, yes. So, this is what we need to do. So from participation to entertainment to economy, and our weather is perfect, location is perfect. Somebody mentioned there are 7 flights a day from Delhi. There are 2 from Bombay, from Bangalore, from everywhere else. But listen, if you put together something that drives people, the flights will increase. It doesn't matter. Goa has N number of flights right now, but in season time, they double, they triple. So that's hardly a constraint. All we need to do is to resolve, and I'm with you. Tell me what I can do to get the first silver medal in Olympics. Thank you very much for your patience. I know it's time to go home. Thank you.
And thank you so much from our side. Thank you so much, Mr. Harindra Singh. It was a pleasure and a privilege to have you and hear such enriching words. If I may invite you back on stage, there's a small formality which comes from the depth of our hats. So here, our president from Avenues Network comes all along to extend our gratitude to our keynote speaker, ladies and gentlemen. Let's hear a round of applause. Tell you, we couldn't have ended this any better, because for us, the road from this moment, from Nepal Sports Summit 2026, the commencement of this kind of summit is certainly